Happy Saturday, November 29th, 2025. Also, apparently it's Electronic Greeting Card Day, so consider this episode your animated .gif with questionable sparkle text. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. This entire episode was spun up end-to-end with AI. We're stress testing Microsoft Vibe Voice 7B today, so if our voices feel extra crispy, that's the model doing its thing. If it goes off the rails, yeah, we keep it in.
Lead story: Alibaba's Z-Image Turbo. A lean, mean 6 billion parameter image model touting photorealism that hangs with some models several times bigger. The claim is basically big model vibes without the big model bill.
Bold. So let's get real. How does it stack up against Stable Diffusion 3 and Midjourney on the stuff that matters: quality, speed, and compute?
From early tests, Z-Image Turbo gets crisp photoreal faces, clean materials, and believable lighting at very few steps. Think single-digit steps. On a consumer GPU with around 16 gigs of VRAM, it's comfortable. Benchmarks floating around show about 2 to 3 seconds for a 1024 by 1024 image on a 4090. Stable Diffusion 3 Turbo is still the speed demon in my book, but Z-Image is shockingly efficient for the fidelity. Midjourney still wins the cinematic taste out of the box award, but you're paying, and you're in a closed garden.
Yeah, Midjourney is like ordering the chef's tasting menu. Gorgeous, pricey, and you can't peek in the kitchen. Z-Image is more like a compact food truck that somehow plates fine dining. For creators, the killer detail is it runs on the same GPU you use to play Baldur's Gate. That unlocks new in-house stuff.
Exactly. Running this on a local workstation means marketing teams can move a bunch of work off cloud APIs. Think on-prem thumbnail factories, product hero shots, and social variants that auto-spin from a spreadsheet. Edge use case I love: retail kiosks generating localized posters on the fly. Field teams on a laptop can update POS images without a round trip to a vendor.
And for automation nerds like you, I'm seeing clean JSON in, image out. N8N Flow takes a brief to prompt, calls Z-Image, pushes to the DAM, triggers a critic pass, then schedules in the CMS. That's soup to nuts with no rate limit drama.
Prompt understanding is where the chatter is hyped. Users say Z-Image gets complex prompts and edits, but there are trade-offs. Fine-grained edits can still bleed. Mask a watch face, you might nudge the wrist. And character consistency across a batch? Better than older SD forks, not as sticky as the biggest proprietary stacks with identity tools.
I'll co-sign.
For controllability, you'll want control-netish nodes, IP adapter-style refs, and an editing variant for local changes. Z-Image Edit is solid for background swaps and global style, but if you're doing pixel-precise product retouching, keep Photoshop in the loop or anchor with stricter masks. Also, text fidelity in tiny fonts is better than the cursed Lorem IP and C era, but brand typography still needs a QA pass.
Which brings up evaluation. Should orgs believe the punches above its weight demos on X and Reddit? Fun to watch, not how you plan budgets. Do a staged bake-off, build a prompt pack from your actual brand tasks. Track first-pass validity, human minutes per fix, and cost per compliant asset. Do double-blind preference tests with your creative leads, and run an ensemble critic schema, accessibility, claims before anything ships.
Speaking of ensemble critics, OpenGradient's new council-style multi-agent tools have me excited. Multiple agents debate and rank answers in the browser. I love that as a reviewer layer for images. Style judge, brand judge, legibility judge, let them argue, then ship the consensus winner. It's very vibe coder energy. Yup, Collins named vibe coder one of the standout tech phrases of the year. Translators between human taste and machine knobs are about to be hot hires.
Let's hit bilingual text. Z-Image Turbo advertises strong English and Chinese rendering. That's huge for localization teams. Cleaner in-image copy means fewer manual overlays and better legibility for marketplaces and banners. But brand safety still applies. Region-locked claims, approved terminology lists, OCR checks for small fonts, and a human spot check for tone.
And IP or deepfake worries haven't gone away. The practical guardrails I'm seeing work: block celebrity likeness by default, require a consent token for any real person, watermark with C2PA where you can, keep full provenance prompt seed model version on every asset. Also run an IP scan on logos or characters before publish. It's boring governance, but boring scales.
Architecture angle. Z-Image Turbo uses a single-stream diffusion transformer. That's a signal. Smaller, tightly optimized models with smart token routing are winning specific jobs. My take: teams should route by task. Use specialized small models for routine, high-volume generation. Escalate to giant generalists only for hairy briefs. That's how you keep unit costs sane.
Ecosystem maturity matters too. There are comfy UI workflows already, folks are plugging Flux-style VAEs, and I'm seeing LoR fine-tunes pop up. It's early, but momentum looks real. If you're choosing an open model for production, community speed is a legit buying criterion. Templates, nodes, prompt enhancers, that's your time to value.
On-prem prototype checklist if you're spinning this up next week. One consumer NVIDIA card with 12 to 16 gigs of VRAM, Dockerized inference, comfy UI or diffuser's pipeline, pinned checkpoints in a model registry, and strict prompt and output logging. Wrap a policy layer around it, claims filters, locale rules, and a cost cap per asset. Monitor GPU utilization, queue latency, first-pass validity, and incident rate. And lock your versions. Drift will bite you mid-campaign.
Licensing note, check the repo terms before you go wild. ZImage Turbo is released with a commercially usable license, but your legal team should still read the fine print. Also, feature wishes I keep seeing: better Face ID style locking, crisper microtext for packaging, more deterministic seeds across versions, and stronger in-painting masks. The pace of fixes on open models has been fast lately, so I'm optimistic.
Quick compare for buyers. If you want maximum control, minimal cost, and you're okay wiring a few nodes, ZImage Turbo is very appealing. If you want maximum speed with decent quality, stable Diffusion 3 Turbo is still a beast. If you want stylized, filmic magic with hand-holding, Midjourney's your studio, with the subscription and the sandbox constraints.
And if you're a music person, side news, HAiO teamed with Zero G on iProducer iNFTs, agent musicians that learn your taste and mint tracks with on-chain IP. That's the same automation theme, agents doing the grunt work, humans steer the vibe. Pair that with ZImage and you've got album art to audio loops without leaving your stack.
Bigger ecosystem pulse before we wrap. The vibe coder wave is real. Creative technologists who can coax models and wire automations are the new multipliers. And council-style multi-agent evals will creep into creative review. Less trust the demo, more let a panel of AIs and humans grade the work.
Bottom line for marketers and creators, ZImage Turbo makes photoreal image automation cheaper and more portable. Not a magic button, but a strong building block. Use it to speed ideation, generate variants, and localize responsibly. Keep a human in the loop for taste, claims, and weird edge cases.
All right, that's the CoeCast for Electronic Greeting Card Day. If this episode felt like a glittery .gif, mission accomplished. Hit coe.com/resources for more AI news and playbooks, and don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for hanging with us. Go send someone an e-card, or better, auto-generate one with ZImage Turbo and a little council-style critique. Catch you next time.